Hello YouTube, I'm Darkest101 and welcome to another Darkest101 review. Well guys, I was sitting around thinking today and I realised it has been a very long time since I reviewed a segment of Hellsing Ultimate. So I decided, let's not wait anymore, shall we? Now, if you recall, when we last left off, Ceres Victoria, a British police officer, had been transformed into a vampire by the Hellsing agent Alucard. As a result, she's been drafted into the Hellsing organisation, an order of monster hunters currently led by Sir Integra Hellsing. At the end of the last episode, the agents of Hellsing had clashed with Father Alexander Anderson, an agent of the Vatican Special Division 13, also known as the Iscariot organisation. Well, and seeing as how everyone's up to speed, let's get on with episode 2. This episode begins with Ceres Victoria having to now sleep in a coffin in order to keep her vampiric strength up, as she refuses to drink blood. I forget, did they explain why she doesn't drink blood in the manga? What am I saying? Of course they did. How do I know this? Because the plot of this OVA is all over the place! Both Alucard and Ceres are then given new arms from the Hellsing family butler, Walter. Alucard is given a jackal, a semi-automatic pistol designed for use in conjunction with the castle against Father Anderson. And as for Ceres, she's given a goddamn cannon. I believe Darkest101 put it best.
Get that bitch a cannon. Bitches love cannons.
Meanwhile, when all of this is going on, Sir Integra is having a conference with the rest of the round table to discuss the rise in vampire population in Britain, which is the result of artificially created vampires who are made via chips in the brain. This of course leads to a rise in vampire attacks in the UK. The conference is then interrupted by, well, did you know it, a vampire attack. I believe if you look into the Hellsing Family Dictionary, you will find a short manuscript of this very situation under the definition of the word irony. The vampires in question are the Valentine brothers, Luke, the sophisticated older brother of the two vampires, and Jan, who is not.
I said hold your fucking fire!
Oh, I'm so fucking hard right now.
Fuck, these are some fine cigars.
I suppose you're all waiting for some sort of clever comparison between the two siblings. Well, let's just say the class difference between Luke Valentine and Jan Valentine is that between Sherlock Holmes and Ricky Pollard. The Valentine brothers assault the Hellsing Manor with an army of ghouls with the intent to wipe out Hellsing and the Round Table. While Jan causes chaos in the upper levels of the manor, Luke goes down into the basement in search of Alucard. Ceres and Walter travel up to the conference room to meet up with Sir Integra via the air ducts, while Alucard sits around and waits for Luke. Am I the only one who feels that this episode is kind of the reverse of the last episode? I mean, in episode 1, it was kind of just a showcase for just how much of a badass Alucard is. This, it's just Alucard sitting around for 20 minutes while other people get slaughtered. But fear not, for the severe lack of Alucard in this episode is more than made up for by the badass that is
Walter Donnaise, butler to the Hellsing family, and former master vampire hunter.
Walter T. Donnaise. He's so tough, Werther's chew him. Walter and Ceres then systematically decimate Jan's forces, which ultimately leads to his capture. However, before they can interrogate him, he is eliminated by the person or persons unknown who installed his chip. Whilst this is going on, however, Alucard and Luke are exchanging volleys in the basement. When Alucard appears to be beaten, however, he releases a wider range of his own vampiric powers, which ultimately leaves Luke legless.
Rubbish! I've hardly touched a drop!
No, I mean, you haven't got any legs.
Oh, yes. You're right there. Carry on.
Alucard then devours Luke's body and his blood by using a dog-based familiar named Baskerville. The body count is collected, and the episode ends. And that's Hellsing Part 2, everybody. What do I think about it? Well, as I've said before on this channel, dialogue is something that has to be handled carefully in anime. If it's got too much of a heavy hand behind it, or it's not handled heavily enough, it leads to some unbelievable reactions. Hellsing is clearly a case of dialogue being slapped on with too heavy a hand, especially in the episode with the likes of Jan Valentine. Also, the placement of music in some places is a bit inappropriate at times, offsetting the tone that this is trying to be created. However, by this point it's clear the violence and bloodshed aren't going to be toned down by any degree, so you might as well strap in and enjoy the ride, folks. So now it comes down to what counts, the dark rating. How does Hellsing Part 2 stack up? Hellsing Ultimate Part 2 receives a dark rating of 69.
You're pathetic! Nothing but a useless sniveling lump of meat!
And that's the Hellsing Part 2 review, everybody. As always, if you have a suggestion, please drop in the comment section below or on my Twitter. But until then, I've been Darkest101. You have been watching Darkest101 Reviews. Thanks for watching. Good night, YouTube.